welcome to the Radiant Enchantress Show today. Thank you for joining us. Today I'd like to welcome Kourtney Coleman. Kourtney is a certified Taylor Protocols practitioner and intuitive business coach for career women who want to transition into successful entrepreneurs by creating a business that's authentic to them. She's the host of the Impact Zone podcast, founder of Women Building with Intention, and the host of I Am Her Empowerment and Impact Summit for Career Women, Virtual Summit, and multiple other publications. Kourtney knows what it's like to build a business with low confidence when you don't understand how you were created to function and the ramifications it brings to your business. So hello everybody and welcome again to the Radiant Enchantress show today. I am super excited to welcome Kourtney Coleman. She's an intuitive business coach, as I've just told you in the little bio I've read previous to commencing here. And so hi Kourtney, it's so great to meet you virtually. And I love doing these shows and I'm really happy to welcome you.
Well, thank you, Jane. It is an honor to be here to be able to speak with you and your guests. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I would love for you to share your story of how you came to be the intuitive business coach you are today. And I'm sure there's some great inspiration for our listeners.
Awesome. I would say the journey has been what year is this, 2018? So
yes.
It's been like a 15-year journey to get to where I am today. I've had multiple businesses. However, in the journey of coming from a space of having been in ministry to where I am now, I had to learn that it is okay to use my gifts that I were given to share with others, to help them to build their business, because you can't ignore that part of you, because that's who you are and who you were created to be, as well as the contribution you were created to give to the world. And I know for some people that can be scary, especially when you're coming out of a space like I did. I came out of being with ministry. We were in ministry at the time when this whole thing, I guess, started, and when I realized that I had gifts. And when you come out of that box, knowing that this is the way that things are in this particular realm, this is the way that they word things and do things, and certain things outside of that are not okay, that's not necessarily the truth. That is not necessarily the truth. It's just the thought that people hold. And you can choose to hold that thought, or you can choose to get a new thought. I didn't burst into flames like they said.
Right.
I didn't, die immediately and go to hell. And my gifts are made for everyone. It's not just made for a certain people with a certain belief. And I found that once someone hipped me to, oh, this exists outside of the church, I had so much more appreciation for other people who have the gift, because I felt accepted. I didn't feel alone. The only teacher I had was my source itself. And that was great that I had that unfiltered training, but it's nice to know that there are other people who have the same gifts as you, and they can help you to grow as well. And that was very reassuring to me. So I learned different terms outside of that arena. I learned how different people were functioning, and that everything really wasn't bad like I was initially told. Because when you have that information, it will make you feel like, ooh, I'll be bad or wrong if I go and do something outside of this. And you're really not. And I just want to encourage you to explore that. If you feel called to come out of a box, it doesn't matter what that box is, there's a reason why you're being called out of that box. And you need to make sure that you stand in whatever it is that you have, because there's a reason for it. I like to tell people, because I work with an assessment, sometimes I'll hear, oh, well, nobody can put me in a box, or you can't tell me how I am. The assessment isn't to tell you who you are, it's to reaffirm who you are. And my thing is, if you know what's in the box, because you're already in a box, whether you like it or not, people put you in a box. If you know what's in the box, You know how to get out of the box whenever you want to get out of the box, but you decide what box you're in. You don't have to get in somebody else's box. And I will say the moment that I understood it was really okay to fully be me and not allow somebody else to label me, I describe who I am, I say who I am, what I can and can't do. It was so empowering that I no longer had limits that I had before. I found that I was able to identify with people more, to be able to help them see that where they were was okay. And it allowed me to not be boxed in like a box is a prison sometimes. When you say, I can't go and do this particular thing, you limit yourself. And I did that because I was scared of what other people would think who were coming, might see me from that box that I used to be in. And when I decided, you know what, I can no longer deny who I am and how I am and what I do, they'll be fine. They're probably not even paying any attention to me. We worry about that, but they're not even really looking. And it's interesting because I actually did a video where I explained, I said, well, just in case, I'm going to do this video and I'm going to explain how I got to doing this particular thing, because I'm not going to answer any private questions about it. You can go watch the video. And I posted it. Guess how many people watched the video?
I do. How many?
None. And I thought, you did all that stressing, you did all that withholding and boxing in yourself and your gifts because you were worried about what other people would think, and they don't even notice, they don't even care or whatever. And I said, you know what? Full reign to do whatever it is that you feel called to do. And I like to encourage people to do that because that's why you're put here. That is exactly why you're put here. Well, when I started my coaching business, I thought I needed an assessment, something that was solid as a piece of a foundation for my business to base it on. I like facts. I like to know that I have something reproducible and something solid. So I said, I need an assessment. And I actually found one that discovers your innate core value, which is something that does not change from when you're born to when you die. It's not your morals that you're taught or that people put upon you or you go learn. When you are born, when you're created, you have them. So when you're born, you already have them. It's why you think the way you do, why you make the decisions that you make, why you learn the way you do. All of that is based off of this information. And I thought, this is awesome. When you are building a business, there are so many variables. This would be a great foundation, because when you don't know what service you're going to do, or when you don't know what social media you need to be on, or when you don't know what decisions you need to make, this piece of information is still sitting right here. And it's why you make the decisions that you make when you are aware of it. So, Ms. Jane, I'm sure you can look back at your life and say, if I had known that then, I wouldn't have done A, B, C, and D.
Oh, for sure.
And I have had that happen a lot of times. I've had where I didn't understand why I did what I did. I've heard some people say, I don't know why I keep doing the same cycles. I don't understand why. Well, this information helps you to understand why. So you can avoid circumstances that you don't want to be in anymore. So it'll help you see what opportunities are best for you to maximize those opportunities. So I thought, this is a no-brainer. I absolutely love it. Let's go with this. And in doing so, I created that solid foundation. But I also found the spiritual side of me saying, what about me? What about me? And I tried to ignore that because, once again, I was looking at, well, what if people look at what I'm doing, and what if they say, and what if, and what if? You cannot base your business off of what if imaginary people.
No.
Not a good system to set up, okay? So I said, okay, fine. I won't ignore you anymore. You can come in my business and we'll just be totally Kourtney, because my whole thing is stay true to the real you. And this is why. Between your innate core values and your spiritual self and what contribution you're created to give, you need to be that person, whether you have a business or not. As a parent, as a spouse, as a friend, when you are not true to who you are, think about how uncomfortable you are.
Exactly.
And nobody wants to live that way. So you're going to consciously go create a business where you're not yourself. How successful will that business be?
Not very successful at all. And it's such a shame that people grow up and they have teachers or parents or friends or family, and those people in their lives put them in boxes and say, this is how you are. And so when you're growing up, you stop believing all of that and you lose track of your authentic self.
Right, exactly. And like I said, I say you figure out what your box is. Don't allow somebody else to give you a box and you go step in their box. Mentally, you're already in their box. So you can go do whatever you want, but find out what's in your box so that you can get out of the box when you want, or use what's in the box to your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about knowing your quote unquote box. And when you understand what your innate core values are, you will see your patterns if you look back over your life, and you'll be like, okay, I get it now. Now I know what's feeding it. I can choose a different path. And that's what I decided to do. This is who I am. I am spiritual. I am linear. This is who I am. And I wanted to be free to be all of me to my clients, where if I got a download, I could share that with that person without feeling like, oh, I really can't say anything because they don't know how intuitive I am. So I was holding myself back from bringing my whole self into my business. And that wasn't fair to me or to my clients. So that's why I can be an intuitive business coach, because I allow that part of me to be active in my business. But I also have the 15 plus years of experience, as well as, different modalities that I use to help them.
That's awesome. That's awesome, because what I also would like to say is that when you have these gifts, you don't realize necessarily that you have them until you are ready to receive them and understand them and use them.
Yes,
I believe.
I think that's true. Like I was saying before we started recording, I knew I had gifts in that certain region in the, religious part. But when I left, I thought, oh, where did my gifts go? Oh, why did they leave? And I thought, but he wouldn't give me gifts and then take them away just because I'm not over here anymore. That didn't make any sense to me. But because I was church hurt, there was just all these other things that were going on. So they were dormant. They were growing, but not like they were before.
No.
And then when it got to where I could no longer ignore that part of me anymore, it was wide open. I tried, there's this one person I came across, and I thought, well, let me just see what she has to offer, because it's about helping you understand your gifts. And let me take an assessment and see, what gifts it says I have. Just pretending like I'm brand new, and I'm checking off all these boxes. And I thought, holy moly, all of this is active. So I said, well, let me do this meditation exercise, and let me, just go through the steps and stages. In the midst of this meditation, it was about, okay, you go to the ocean, you go left or you go right. And I was trying to follow the meditation. And the voice said, nope, you're staying right here. And this is the exercise you're doing. Now, I laid on the floor for an hour doing this exercise. I didn't know that her recording had ended. So I had gotten back like a few days later, and I said, wow, that was a really interesting meditation. I tried to do, what she asked me to do, but I knew my instruction because I knew my voice from before. This is what I want you to do. So that's the voice that I follow. And I told her, I said, that was pretty awesome. It was about an hour, and I knew because I set an alarm because I had something else to do. He says, no, that meditation with the intro, getting into the meditation, and getting out was all of 20 minutes. And I was like, okay. So it's great that I knew beforehand, what that voice was to me. And I went through this 10-year lesson of obey quickly. So I just knew what I needed to do. And he said, no, you're going to stay here and do this exercise. And we did our little thing. And I thought, okay. I still know how to hear, listen, and obey. And that's what I did. But I wouldn't be there if I didn't allow myself to just be fully who I am.
Right. That's awesome. So do you have any coaches or business coaches yourself, or mentors, or that you look towards for help when you're in need of help?
I have a bunch. I normally always have a coach. I just finished with one, And like I said, I'm linear and I'm woo at the same time. So and I call it data woo. I love my data and I'm a woo girl. So I just mix them together. So it depends on where I feel led to go next. So I just finished one. So I'm like, okay, now let's work, and then we'll see if something comes up and I need another one. I just finished one about mindset and about the mind. So I love knowing why things work the way that they work, because when you know that, you're able to handle and approach things differently.
Right.
You can solve more problems if you know that. And I just finished one. It was it a year or 6 months? It was 6 months. I was working with one, and I don't know about the next one. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten any messages as to what I need to do next. So I'm just gonna sit tight and work, and that will be totally fine with me. To take a break for a moment and make sure you're implementing what you're actually doing, having learned. So that's where I am for now. But yeah, I have a mindset business. There's a couple of people, friends that I know that I would come to for business.
Yeah.
Sales coach is a great one. You definitely want to make sure you do that in different areas of your business for sure. Because not every person does everything well. You want to make sure if it's about speaking, you get a speaking person. If it's about business, have that person. Just because you want to go to a specialist doctor, right? Go to a specialist.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and the teacher will appear when the student is ready. I think that's a Chinese proverb.
Nice.
So,
I actually see that happening.
yeah, so I try to go personally with the flow and make sure that I'm just open to what is being presented to me, and when I'm like that, the teachers do come and the people do come into your life, and sometimes they stay for a while and sometimes they don't stay for very long. So it's an interesting process.
That's true.
So
I think you say that about flows in your business. Like what software you need or what you need to be learning. I could see that happening. Like I've even noticed lately, always around like the 20th of the month, there's something appears that I need in my business software wise or something. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm just noticing the pattern.
Yeah, really.
I'm ready.
So do you have a favorite book or a couple of favorite books that you go to and refer back to on a regular basis?
I would say, I have two actually, and one is right here. So Building a Brand Story, this book right here.
Oh, nice.
A blessing. And this is Donald Miller. I came across him through Mentor Box, actually. And, when you are building your company, you want to communicate that message clearly, and you want people to respond to your message. And we've been through different branding ideas and all of this, but when you find one that he has reinvented, he even explains how the presidency works and how like rebranding the people who are going for office, how it has changed. I'm like, I might want to listen. I just might want to listen. And it has been amazing. And once you know what it is, you know how to present your business in a way that people can identify and understand. They can identify with it and understand and respond, because then you're speaking fluently to that person where they can digest it and respond like you want them to understand. So definitely building a story brand is awesome. The second book is The Genie Within Your Subconscious Mind by Harry Carpenter. And the reason why I like the book is because it will make you aware of what is going on around you subconsciously that you're not aware of. And when you realize this is what's happening, you can then make conscious decisions about whatever it is. So that's the reason why I don't listen to the radio anymore in the car, because of the commercials. If you pay attention, and now since I'm saying this, you will, but the commercials that are on in prime drive time are all about car accidents and needing a lawyer. And I've had 4 car accidents, so I have no desire to listen to the car radio. So we have Sirius radio now. the book is worth sharing not only with just you, but with your family as well, so that they can be aware of what's going on around them. I think as an entrepreneur, one of the worst things you can have is you personally growing and soaring, and the people around you, they're not moving as fast or at all.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it very hard for you as the entrepreneur. So I would suggest reading The Genie Within.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. It's been great to get to know you today. And I look forward to staying connected with you over the next few years. That'd be awesome.
Yes, it would. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
And could you tell the audience how to contact you and your website?
Yes, ma'am. My website is KourtneyColeman.com, and that's Kourtney with a K, Kourtney, last name Coleman, COLEMAN.com. And you can reach me on all social media at Kourtney C Inc. INC.
Great. And you were saying you had a podcast as well.
Yes, ma'am. I have a podcast called The Impact Zone that's on Anchor, and it is distributed to iTunes as well as Google Play Store.
Beautiful.
And I'll give you the link for that as well.
Oh, great. Because eventually I'm going to have a resource page, so I can include that in that.
Awesome. That would be great.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you again. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
You are a goddess.
We hope you enjoyed this enchanting conversation today, and we look forward to having a new conversation with you in our next show. Our shows will be broadcast approximately every 2 weeks. We wish you much love and light in your life today. Thank you.